Let's be honest, buying an engagement ring online, it can feel like a massive leap of faith, right? So today, we're going to do a deep dive into this exact 3/4 carat halo ring. We're going to break down every single detail, from its sparkle and size all the way to how it gets to your door, so you can feel totally confident before you even think about buying. Let's get into it.
Okay, so first up, let's just take a look at it. On the left, you've got that perfect detailed product shot where you can see every little facet. And on the right, you see how it actually looks on a person's hand, out in the real world. And that's what's so important, right? It bridges that gap between the perfect photo and imagining what it'll actually look like on you.
All right, let's dive into that first impression. I mean, what's it really like when you open that box for the first time? What's its presence? Now, this slide is actually super helpful, and here's why. It's so easy to get lost in those perfect, glamorous photos, but seeing it right next to a ruler and some coins, that gives you a real sense of its size. It grounds your expectations and shows you its true physical scale before you're even holding it. So what we're looking at here is a real balancing act in the design. It has what's called noticeable coverage, meaning it's absolutely going to get noticed on your finger. But the profile itself is still really refined. That means it's substantial, but it's not clunky or overwhelming, which makes it practical enough to wear every single day.
Okay, so we've got the big picture. Now let's zoom way in and break down the little details that really make this ring so special.
The star of the show is obviously that center stone. It's a princess cut, which is famous for that sharp, brilliant, almost geometric sparkle. But the real magic, I think, comes from that halo, that perfect frame of smaller diamonds around it. Think of them like a supporting cast whose only job is to catch all the light they can and just blast it back through the center stone. It basically turns up the volume on the sparkle. And don't forget to look at the band itself. I mean, this is not your average, simple band. It's called a structured woven shank. All those intertwining lines and tiny diamonds add so much texture and detail, almost like a piece of architecture. It's one of those things you'll appreciate more and more every time you look at it. So what's holding all this beautiful work together? It's 14 karat white gold. But the secret ingredient here is that rhodium plating. Rhodium is actually in the platinum family, and when you plate white gold with it, you get this incredibly bright, almost mirror-like finish that's also super durable. It's what gives the ring that crisp, clean look and helps protect it. All right, time to talk specs. I know this is the part that can feel a little bit like a science class, but stick with me. We're going to make it all make sense, I promise. So the headline number is this: 3/4 carat total weight. Now, that's not just one diamond. That's the weight of all 27 diamonds on the ring combined. That's what gives you that impressive presence we were talking about earlier. And this table here does a great job of breaking it all down. You've got that big 0.45 carat center stone, but here's what you really need to see. The quality is consistent. GH color means they are near colorless, so you're getting a really bright white look. Clarity is great, but the big one for me, excellent cut grade on all the stones. That's what's going to give you that fire and sparkle. So you see grades like VS and IS. What does that even mean in the real world? Well, it's pretty simple, really. It's all about how clean the diamond is. VS means any tiny imperfections are super difficult for even an expert to see with a magnifying glass. The bottom line is this: to your naked eye, these diamonds are going to look totally clean and just packed with brilliance. Okay, let's talk about maybe the biggest worry when buying a ring online: getting the size right. We're going to tackle this head on. Right, so how can you possibly get the right size from home and feel good about it? Well, it's actually way easier than you might think. It really just comes down to these 4 simple steps. You literally just grab a little strip of paper, wrap it around the base of your finger, not too tight, mark where it overlaps, and then measure that length with a ruler. Then you just match that number up to a sizing chart online. That's it. No fancy tools needed. And here's a fantastic pro tip that can make all the difference. Measure your finger at the end of the day. Why does that matter? Well, your fingers actually change size a tiny bit during the day, depending on what you're doing and the temperature. Measuring at night gives you the most accurate size for a ring that's going to be comfortable 24/7. Okay, so you've found the one, you've nailed down the size. Now what? Let's walk through what actually happens when you hit Add to Cart. First things first, paying for it. And they make this part super flexible. You've got all your usual suspects, credit cards, PayPal, but you've also got newer stuff like Apple Pay and Google Pay. And they even have options for installments or paying with crypto. It's all about making it secure and easy for you. Okay, So your order's in. What's the timeline look like? Well, there's about 1 to 7 business days for processing and sizing. Then you pick your shipping speed. And this part is really, really important. A signature is required for delivery. That's just to make sure it gets safely into your hands and nobody else's.
But okay, let's address the elephant in the room. What if it arrives, you open the box, and it's just not what you imagined? This is where we talk about the safety net, and honestly, it's one of the most important parts of buying online.
And that safety net comes down to one simple number: 30. You get a full 30 days from the moment it lands on your doorstep to decide if it's perfect. That is a huge weight off your shoulders. Now, of course, there are a few ground rules, but they're all pretty much common sense. Basically, you have to make the request within that 30-day window, and the ring needs to be back in the box, unworn, just as you received it. No alterations or anything like that.
And really, this quote from their policy just says it all. The whole process is built around this idea, so you can feel confident in your purchase, knowing you're protected. So there you have it. We've looked at the design from every angle. We've translated all those technical diamond specs. We've figured out how to get the perfect size at home, and we've walked through the secure buying process. With all the practical stuff out of the way, there's really only one question left, and it's the most important one. What moment will it celebrate?